Sensory preoccupation, excretion regulation on of kidney, menstruation, role of other organs and disorders. Solution notes. Okay. Movement in one of the significant features of living being. Animals and plants exhibit a wide range of movement. Streaming of protoplasm in the unicellular organism like amoeba is a simple form of movement. Movement of cilia, flagella, and tentacles are shown by many organisms. Human being can move limbs, jaws, eyelids, tongue, etc. Some of the movements result in the change of place of locomotion. Such voluntary movements are called locomotion. Walking, running, climbing, flying, swimming are all some forms of locomotory movements. Locomotory structure need not be different from those affecting other types of movement. For example, in Paramecium, cilia helps in movement of food through cytoplasm and in locomotion as well. Hydra can use its tentacle for capturing its prey and also use them for locomotion. Okay. Hydra can use tentacles for capturing prey and also use them in locomotion. We use limb for changing body posture and locomotion as well. All locomotion are movement, but all movements are not locomotion. Method of locomotion performed by animals vary with their habitats and the damage of the situation. However, locomotion is generally for source of food, shelter, mates, suitable breeding grounds, favorable climate condition, or the escape for enemy's predator. Types of movement. Cells of human body exhibit three main type of movements, namely amoeboid, ciliary, and muscular. Amoeboid, muscular. All locomotion are movement, but all movements are not locomotion. Method of locomotion performed by animals vary with. Okay. Cells of the human body exhibit three main types of movement: amoeboid, ciliary, and muscular. Amoeboid, ciliary, and muscular. Some special, some specialized cell. Some specialized cell in our body. Okay. Movement, namely amoeboid, ciliary, and some specialized cells in our body, like macrophages and leukocytes in blood, exhibit amoeboid movement. It is affected by pseudopodia formed by the streaming of protoplasm. As in amoeba, cytoskeleton elements like microelements are also involved in amoeboid movement. Ciliary movement occur most of our internal tubules organs, which are lined by ciliated epithelium. You have studied in Chapter 8 that the cilia and flagella are outgrowth of the cell membrane. Flagellar movement helps in swimming of spermatozoa, maintain a water current in the canal system of sponges, and in locomotion of protozoan like euglena. Muscles is a specialized tissue of mesodermal organs. About 40 to 50% of the body weight of a human adult is contributed by muscles. They have special properties like excitability, contractibility, extensibility, and elasticity. Muscles have been classified using different criteria, namely location, appearance, and nature of regulation of their activities. Based on their location, three types of muscles are found: skeletal, visceral, or cardiac. Skeletal, visceral, and cardiac. Skeletal muscles are closely associated with the skeletal components of the body. They have striped appearance under the microscope and hence are called striated muscles, as their activities are under the voluntary control of the nervous system. They are known as voluntary muscle too. They are primarily involved in locomotory actions and change of the body posture. Visceral muscles are located in the inner wall of hollow visceral organs of the body, like alimentary canal, reproductive tract, etc. They do not exhibit any station, a striation, and are smooth in appearance. Hence, they are called as smooth muscles, non-striated muscles, visceral muscle, non-striated muscles, or smooth muscles. Their activities are not under the voluntary control of the nervous system and are thereof known as involuntary muscles. They assist, for example, transportation of food through the digestive tract and gametes through the genital tract. As the name suggests, cardiac muscles are the muscles of heart. Many cardiac muscle cells assemble in a branching pattern to form a cardiac muscle. Based on appearance, cardiac muscles are striated. They are involuntary in nature as the nervous system does not control their activity directly. Let us examine skeletal muscles in details to understand the structure and mechanism of contraction. Its organism skeletal muscles in our body is made of number of muscles bundle or fascicles held together by common collagenous connective tissue called fascia. Each muscle bundle contains a number of muscle fiber. Each muscle fiber is lined by a plasma membrane called sarcolemma and clothed in the sarcoplasm. Muscle fiber is syncytium as the sarcoplasm contains many nuclei. The endoplasmic reticulum, that is sarcoplasmic reticulum of the muscle fiber, is the storehouse of calcium ion. A characteristic feature of muscle fiber is the presence of a large number of parallelly arranged filaments in a sarcoplasm called myofilament or myofibrils. Its myofibrils has alternate dark and light band on it. A detailed study of the myofibril has established that the striated appearance is due to distribution pattern of two important proteins, actin and myosin. Okay. The light band contain actin and is called I band, isotropic band, whereas dark band called A band or contain myosin. Both the protein are arranged as rod-like structure parallel to each other and also to the longitudinal axis of the myofibrils. Actin filament are thin as compared to the myosin filament, hence are commonly called thin and thick filament respectively. In the center of the each I band, an elastic fiber called jet line, which bisects it. The thin filaments are firmly attached to the jet line. The thick filament in the A band are also held together in the middle of this band by a thin fibrous membrane called M line. The A and I bands are arranged alternately throughout the length of the myofibrils, and proteins of the myofibrils between two successive jet line is considered as the functional unit of the contraction and called sarcomere. In resulting state, the edge of the thin filaments on either side of the thick filaments partially overlap the free end of the thick filament, leaving the central part of the thick filament. This central part of thick filament not overlapped by the thin filament is called edge zone. Jet line, A band, I band. Okay. Each myofibrils has alternate dark and light band. Each myofibrils has alternate dark and light band. Okay. Locomotion, it is a voluntary movement where the locomotory structure may not be different from the ones that bring about movement. Many organisms show movement of cilia, flagella, tentacles, etc. Humans shows movement of jaws, limb, tongue, etc. Some of these movement of the result in a change of place or location, which is called locomotion. All locomotion are movements, but all movements are not locomotion. Locomotion required a perfect coordinated activity of muscle system, skeletal system, and neural system. Types of movement: amoeboid movement, pseudopodia formation by okay. Amoeboid movement, ciliary movement, and muscular movement. Amoeboid, ciliary, muscular. Muscles. Mesoderm in origin comprises 40 to 50% of total body weight. In adult, total number of muscles 639. Muscles are mesoderm in origin compared to 40 to 50% of total body weight. In adult, total number of muscles is 639. 317 are paired and 5 unpaired. Properties of muscles: excitability, contractibility, extensibility, and elasticity. Type of muscles: skeletal muscles, smooth muscles, visceral muscles, or unstriated muscle, or cardiac muscle. Skeletal muscle: voluntary. Skeletal muscle: voluntary, multinucleated. Embryonic stage: myoblast. Cytoplasm fusion: syncytium. Muscles fiber: striated, presence of dark and light bands; striped, presence of transverse band. Locomotion. Cytopharynx, food in water, food vacuoles. Hydra, kingdom Animalia, phylum Coelenterata. Hydra, kingdom Animalia, phylum Coelenterata. Tentacles, location and capturing of food. Has stinging cell, insect poison. Muscular tissue. Structure of contractile protein. Muscle tissue. Structure of skeletal muscles. Okay. I band, isotropic band, or actin band. Thin. A band. Anisotropic band. Length of myosin. Muscles, mechanisms of muscle contraction. Which of the following responsible for maintenance of water current in canal system of sponges? Sponges. Flagellar movement. Okay, sponges. Identify the wrong statement. Amoeboid movement is affected by pseudopodia formation. Process of ova through female reproductive tract is ciliary movement. Hydra can use its tentacle for capturing its prey and also use them for locomotion. Elements like microfilaments are not involved in amoeboid. 4. Read the following statement and choose the set of correct statement. Cardiac muscles are involuntary and striated. Cardiac muscles are involuntary. Okay, true. So, the set of correct statement. Visceral muscles exhibit. No, it is false. Skeletal muscles assist transport of food through the digestive tract. Skeletal muscles are under voluntary control of. Okay, A and D. Mark the correct statement. All locomotion are movements. All movements are locomotion. Movements is one of the. All movements are locomotion. All movements are locomotion, but all locomotions are movements, but all movements are not locomotion. 1. Flagellar movements help in all of the following except paramecium. 4. Cardiac muscles are striated branch, all of this above. Is organized skeletal muscles in our body is made up of number of muscle bundle of fascicles held together by a common collagenous connective tissue layer called fascia. Skeletal muscles are different from smooth muscles as skeletal. Former uninucleated while later is syn- involuntary while voluntary. Former syncytial. Okay, one maybe. 9-2. Former syncytial while later is uninucleated. Mhm. Skeletal muscles are involuntary, are used in present in myocardium, are attached with bones and used for locomotion. 4. Pseudopodial movement of characteristic of all following except ova. 15-3. Binding of dress to the myosin head result in detachment of actin fill in the blank. Oh, ಇದು ಹೋಗಿಬಲ್ಲಿಗ. Twinkle, Kaijeraket.
Option is statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. Come to the next question. Which of the following options are not incorrect? Again, the correct option आपको पूछा है क्या क्या है? Ammonia is generally excreted by diffusion across the gill surface. Correct है. Ureter generals convert ammonia into the liver. Is then filtered by the kidneys. Correct है.
Urea and uric acid.
Ureter generals secrete uric acid in dissolved form, leading to higher water loss. नहीं, uric acid तो pellet और paste में and it conserves the water. ये वाला गलत है. Tracer evolution favored urea and uric acid formation due to कंजर्वेशन. करेक्ट है. सो मतलब एवोल्यूशन के थ्रू देखोगे जितना आप टेरेस्ट्रियल के अंदर में घुसते जाते हो उतना ही आपका वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट्स क्या है लेस वाटर रिक्वायरिंग होते जाता है. ठीक है. सो व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स आर करेक्ट? व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग ऑप्शन नंबर 1. ऑप्शन नंबर 1. Come to the next question. Again, match the following है. Match the following है. Protonephridia, nephridia. Okay. Right. So when you're talking about protonephridia basically कहाँ पे जाएगा? Platforms राइट। नेफ्रिडिया अर्थवर्म में जाएगा। मैम्फिजियन ट्यूबर्स कॉकरोच एंड एंटीनल जेफिन लेंस किस में जाएगा? प्रॉन्स। तो आपका ऑप्शन हो जाएगा ए इज 4, बी इज 3, सी इज 2, डी इज 1। सो ऑप्शन नंबर 1। क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 अगेन नॉट इनकरेक्ट, दैट मींस करेक्ट ऑप्शन आपसे पूछा है, करेक्ट ऑप्शन, ठीक है। यूरिया एक्सिस इन एल्सियोटेलिक एग्रीकल्चर वाटर बेटर देन एमिटर एनिमल्स, करेक्ट है। वाटर एक्सेप्शन होता है। सम अमाउंट ऑफ यूरिया रिटेन इन द किडनी मैट्रिक्स टू हेल्प मेंटेन ऑस्मोलैरिटी, ये भी करेक्ट है, राइट। यूरिकोटेलिक एनिमल्स एक्सिट यूरिक एसिड इन वेरी वाटरी सॉल्यूशन टू एट फास्ट वाटरी सॉल्यूशन, वाटरी सॉल्यूशन नहीं, पैलेट और पेस्ट की तरफ होता है, पैलेट एंड पेस्ट की तरह होता है, वाटरी सॉल्यूशन में नहीं होता है। So this is wrong, right? Terrestrial adaptation led to evolution of Eurotourism, Eurocourism for nitrogenous waste management. This is correct. So आपका ऑप्शन क्या हो जाएगा? ऑप्शन हो जाएगा आपका 1. Coming to the next question, right? Again, read the following statements and आपको क्या निकालना है? Find out the number of correct statements. ठीक है? So nephridia are tubular excretory structures, tubular excretory structures which are found in annelids and earthworms and help maintain fluid and ionic balance. This is correct. Mammalian tubules are excretory structures in most instances, including cockroach, acids, nitrogenous tubule, and osmotic. This is also correct. Antennal glands or green glands. Antennal glands or green glands serve the excretory function in prawns which are crustaceans and green. Protonephridia are excretory structures in arthropods. नहीं, arthropods में तो नहीं, ठीक है। ये platyhelminthes, amphioxus, platforms इनमें होता है, करेक्ट है। सो ये वाला गलत है। नंबर ऑफ करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट कौन सा हो जाएगा? नंबर ऑफ करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट हो जाएगा 3. Come to the next question. Now read the following statements and again आपको correct statement निकालने को बोला है. Each kidneys in a measure of 10 to 12 cm, 5 cm width, 2 to 3 cm thickness and everything. Correct है. Kidneys are located close to ventral. Ventral नहीं, dorsal होता है. This is the dorsal inner wall. तो ये वाला गलत है, ठीक है. The hilum of the region through which the ureter enters the kidney, correct है. Medulla is eventral pyramids is present to the pyramids is projects into the calyxes. ये भी आपके correct है, ठीक है। तो यहाँ पे ऑप्शन क्या हो जाएगा? ऑप्शन हो जाएगा 2. 3 statements are correct. Okay. Kidney is situated between the last thoracic and the third lumbar vertebrae. Okay. Come to the next question. Mark the incorrect statement. यहाँ पे incorrect glomerulus and duct of capillaries formed by afferent arterioles. Correct statement. Renal tubules big. Outer layer of kidney is called as renal casing, which is stuffed in nature. This is correct. ठीक है। तो number of correct statement क्या हो जाता है? 3. So option हो जाएगा 2. Coming to the next question, question number 11. Which of the following are the correct statements? Again, renal columns between medullary pyramids are called columns of Bertini. Renal columns of Bertini बोलते हैं, ठीक है। Each kidney contains about 1
Blood
lakh
vessels carry maximum urea in hepatic phase and minimum urea in renal vein.
equal to almost 10 lakhs की तरफ होता है, ठीक है, right? So 1 million. This is wrong. Correct. The nephron consists of glomerulus and which of the following statement is incorrect? Renal corpus and proximal convoluted tubule distal convoluted nephron situated in the cortical region. Yes, this is correct. Cortical region में रहते हैं. Glomerulus along with bonus capsule is called the renal corpus. This is correct. Inside the kidney, cortical region extends in between the medullary pyramid as renal pelvis. Renal pelvis नहीं, ये columns तो Bertini होता है, या फिर renal columns होता है. So this is wrong. The medullary is one of the principal few conical muscles called medullary pyramid. This is correct. So आपका option क्या हो जाएगा? Option 2 का हो जाएगा 3. Coming to question number 13. The renal tubules begin with a double-walled cup-like structure called Bowman's cup. Is correct. Glomerulus and Bowman's cup is called Malpighian tubule. Malpighian tubule भी renal corpus of है. So option क्या हो जाएगा? Option हो जाएगा आपका 13 का 2. Coming to the next question. Which of the following is a function of the kidneys? Release of hormone. Yes, erythropoietin. Erythropoietin release करता है. Erythropoietin hormone. Maintenance of plasma pH. Yes, this is maintaining the plasma pH. Maintenance of plasma electrolytes. This is also correct, right? So osmoregulation, ionic balance में help करता है. So the option is all of the above. Coming to the next question. Question number 15. Question number 15 में क्या बोला है? देखिए, choose the incorrect. अभी incorrect choose करें. Proximal convoluted tubule is highly coiled part of the renal tubule that follows the Bowman's capsule. This is correct. Loop of Henle is a Y-shaped. Y-shaped नहीं, U-shaped structure होता है. This is wrong. Distal convoluted tubule opens directly into the renal pelvis. नहीं. Distal convoluted tubule directly. Distal convoluted tubule किधर पे जाता है? Collecting duct, उसके बाद renal pelvis. So this is wrong. Many collecting ducts converge into renal pelvis, right? Through which medullary pyramids into the calyxes. This is correct. तो wrong कौन सा हो गया आपका? Again, next question क्या है? चूज द इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट, चूज द इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट, इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट चूज करने को बोला है। द लूप ऑफ इनले इन अ कॉर्टिकल नेफ्रॉन इज शॉर्ट and extends only in starting method, this is correct, right? The efferent arteriole from the glomerular response peritubular capillaries and the renal tuber, this is also correct. Pars recta is a U-shaped structure that runs parallel to the loop of Henle, is prominent in cortical nephron. Pars recta is not present or reduced, ठीक है, it is not present या फिर totally reduced in cortical nephrons, तो ये वाला गलत है। juxtamedullary में juxtamedullary nephrons have long loops of Henle that runs deep into medulla, this is correct। तो यहाँ पे wrong option क्या हो गया, only C, ठीक है, that is 3 and 4 are wrong। Guys, 17 का trace the protein with plasma with protein pass नहीं, protein pass नहीं होता है, proteins pass नहीं होता है, small protein और large protein तो कभी भी नहीं होता है। So this is statement 1 is wrong। तो endothelium of the glomerular blood vessels, the epithelium of the Bowman's capsule and the basement membrane, these two layers of the filtration, statement 2 is correct। यहाँ पे ऑप्शन क्या हो जाएगा, ऑप्शन हो जाएगा आपका 3। क्वेश्चन नंबर 19, व्हिच सेगमेंट स्क्वामस में एब्जॉर्प्शन एंड सीक्रेशन का रोल ही नहीं होता है, सिंपल स्क्वामस तो डिफ्यूजन और फिल्ट्रेशन के लिए होते हैं। सो द आंसर इज Bowman's capsule। इफ द प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन इंक्रीजेस, प्लाज्मा प्रोटीन इंक्रीज हो जाएगा, दैट मींस कॉलॉइड इंक्रीज हो जाएगा, कॉलॉइड इंक्रीज हो जाएगा तो क्या होगा, blood colloidal osmotic pressure increases। तो अगर blood colloidal osmotic pressure increases, GFR would increase and filtration fraction will also decrease। तो ultimately क्या हो जाएगा, both 1 and 2 are correct। So 20 का 4 हो जाएगा। Okay, if the diameter of the apparent arteriole and efferent arteriole become the same, correct, this helps to regulate GFR 80% of space passively जाता है, इससे जाता है passively, correct है। So this is which one is the most appropriate, 2 years। तो ऑप्शन क्या हो जाएगा, ऑप्शन हो जाएगा आपका 3। impermeable almost सेगमेंट है, ये जो सेगमेंट है ये क्या है ना, इसमें थिन और थिक रीजन होता है सेगमेंट में। थिन वाला सिंपल स्क्वामस से बना है, थिक है फिल्ट्रेशन ऑफ द लूप ऑफ Henle पूछा है। about 70 to 80% of the water is reabsorbed in the proximal convoluted tube, this is correct। the descending loop of Henle is impermeable to, the ascending limb is impermeable to water but allows the transport of electrolyte, this is correct, ठीक है। distal convoluted tubal obligatory reabsorption of sodium, distal obligatory नहीं, conditional होता है, on condition, so ये वाला गलत है। collecting duct helps in maintaining the medullary osmolality, allowing urine to pass into the interstitium, ये भी correct है। ना आप मेडुला से कॉर्टेक्स में जाओगे तो कंसंट्रेशन डिक्रीजेस, राइट। सो ये वाला करेक्ट है। डिसेंडिंग लिम्ब इज इम्परमेबल टू इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स और एसिडिक लिम्ब इज परमेबल टू लिक्विड, दिस इज करेक्ट। डीसीटी सीक्रेट्स हाइड्रोजन पोटेशियम अमोनिया इनटू, ना आप मेडुला से कॉर्टेक्स में जाओ टर्निंग असेंडिंग, यस डिसेंडिंग लिम्ब मेडुला की तरफ जा रहा है और असेंडिंग लिम्ब मेडुला से कॉर्टेक्स की तरफ जाएगा। तो जितना आप मेडुला के अंदर आओगे, जितना यू विल कम इनसाइड द मेडुला, द कंसंट्रेशन इंक्रीजेस, लेकिन जितना आप मेडुला से कॉर्टेक्स में जाओगे तो कंसंट्रेशन डिक्रीजेस, राइट। सो ये वाला करेक्ट है। द डिसेंडिंग लिम्ब इज इम्परमेबल टू इलेक्ट्रोलाइट्स और असेंडिंग लिम्ब इज परमेबल टू लिक्विड, दिस इज करेक्ट। डीसीटी सीक्रेट्स हाइड्रोजन पोटेशियम अमोनिया इनटू द फिल्ट्रिंग यूरिन फॉर्मेशन, करेक्ट है। आयंस लाइक बाइकार्बोनेट सोडियम वाटर आर reabsorbed by DCT, दिस इज आल्सो करेक्ट। तो यहाँ पे ऑप्शन क्या हो जाएगा, 36 का हो जाएगा। Coming to the next question, question number 37। question number 37 में आपको क्या पूछा है कि which of the following statements are these statements true है। The descending loop of Henle concentration, this helps to easy passage of water from medulla to the collecting tubule। मेडुला से कलेक्टिंग ट्यूबल में वाटर नहीं जाता है। इजी पैसेज ऑफ वाटर फ्रॉम कलेक्टिंग ट्यूबल टू द इंटरस्टिशियल फ्लो, देयर कंसीडरिंग ये होता है, राइट। कलेक्टिंग ट्यूबल में वाटर का रीअब्जॉर्प्शन होता है, कहाँ पे होगा, टीसीटी में होगा, ठीक है। अराउंड 200 मिली ऑस्मो, यहाँ पे ऑप्शन हो जाएगा फॉर्मूला का हो जाएगा 2। ओके, कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। नाउ आइसोटोनिक हाइपरटोनिक हाइपोटोनिक डाइल्यूट है, कहाँ पे होगा, टीसीटी में होगा, ठीक है। अराउंड 200 मिली ऑस्मोल का है, राइट। आइसोटोनिक फिल्ट्रेट हो जाएगा, आइसोटोनिक फिल्ट्रेट हो जाएगा पीसीटी, राइट। पीसीटी में 300 मिली ऑस्मोल का, राइट। एंड हाइपरटोनिक हो जाएगा लूप ऑफ Henle, राइट। तो ऑप्शन क्या हो जाएगा, ऑप्शन हो जाएगा आपका 4। फिल्ट्रेट यहाँ पे होगा, टीसीटी में होगा, ठीक है। अराउंड 200 मिली ऑस्मोल का है, राइट। आइसोटोनिक फिल्ट्रेट हो जाएगा, पीसीटी, राइट। पीसीटी में 300 मिली ऑस्मोल का, राइट एंड हाइपोटोनिक हो जाएगा लूप ऑफ हेनले राइट तो ऑप्शन क्या हो जाएगा ऑप्शन हो जाएगा आपका 4 नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन vasorectal runs parallel to the loop of Henle this is correct high osmolarity where the concentration of urine correct this is also correct so both these statements are correct assertion ammonia is produced by metabolism is converted to urea in the liver by some animals released to the blood which is filtered exhaled by kidneys because some amount of urea may be retained into the kidney matrix of some of these rivers to maintain desired osmolarity. This is also correct. Both the statements are correct, but it does not explain that. So option क्या हो जाएगा? Option is 2. Okay. Again, which of the following statements are correct with respect to counter current mechanism? So, the gradient is mainly caused by NaCl and glucose used in this example. This is wrong. The flow of urine in the head is in opposite direction, thus forms a counter current. This is correct. Small amount of glucose and urea enters. नहीं glucose तो नहीं enter करता है, right? NaCl enter करेगा, right? NaCl, ठीक है? तो ये वाला गलत है. ठीक है. It helps in maintaining a decreasing नहीं increasing. Increasing osmolarity तो ये भी गलत है तो करेक्ट क्या हो जाएगा करेक्ट इज ओनली ऑप्शन नंबर 1 Coming to the next question ascending loop of Henle is diluting segment of phenol is correct because वो medulla से कहाँ पे जा रहा है cortex की तरफ जा रहा है in this segment electrolytes are transferred from outer place to so both the statements are correct coming to the next question question number 46 again which of the following statements are correct blood flows into the limb of vasorectum follows a contractile pattern this is also correct urea is absorbed from the correcting tubule into the medullary itself this is also correct the descending limb of Henle's loop actively transport NaCl into the descending limb में कोई NaCl transport नहीं होता है this is wrong the contractile helps in formation of hypertonic gradient this is also correct यहाँ कितना correct answers हो गया 3 correct answer हो गया 3 so option is 4 juxtaglomerular apparatus is formed when the contact of DCT and afferent arterioles से होता है now osmoreceptors activated in response to excessive loss of fluid in body stimulates antidiuretic hormone for neurohypophysis that is posterior pituitary से ये stimulate करता है ठीक है Question number 49 RAS is activated person suffering from diarrhea अभी डायरिया में क्या हो रहा है आपका वाटर लॉस तो हो ही रहा है प्लस आयरन का भी लॉस हो रहा है right so water loss that means glomerular filtration rate is down so body fluid is down and iron loss is blood ionic volume is also down अगर ये दोनों डाउन है तो obviously RAS एक्टिवेट हो गई ठीक है because loss of water evaporates takes place in saturation this is also correct तो यहाँ पे क्या हो जाएगा option both assertion reason and true and reason is the correct explanation for the assertion coming to the next question select the correct combination that means correct statement angiotensin to being a part of vasoconstriction increase the glomerular pressure thereby GFR this is correct angiotensin to activate the adrenal cortex to release aldosterone this is correct aldosterone promotes reabsorption of sodium and water from DCT and continue leading to the increase in blood pressure and GFR this is correct ठीक है right ANF causes vasodilation नहीं वो क्या करता है वो डायलेशन ही करेगा डायलेशन एंटीनाइट्रेट क्या करेगा डायलेशन करेगा सो अल्टीमेटली यहाँ पे ऑप्शन क्या हो जाएगा ऑप्शन हो जाएगा आपका 1 coming to the next question रेने is released by photosynthesis रेने to the next question the juxtaglomar apparatus is then in blood into this question coming to the next question which of the following is not true which of the following statement is not true ADH makes the collecting tubule collected and more permeable to water yes water reabsorbs is correct one that is bird dropping जो होता है contains high concentration of uric acid this is correct ठीक है right aldosterone secreted by hypothalamus aldosterone क्या करता है adrenal gland secrete करेगा ये वाला क्या है wrong and increasing the blood volume triggers the release of adrenal factor which inhibits the release of aldosterone this is also correct so यहाँ पे option क्या हो जाएगा 53 का 3 coming to question number 54 right how many of them are correct osmoreceptors respond to changes in blood volume and ionic concentration obviously blood volume and ionic concentration osmoregulation में आता है ये वाला correct है regulates the ADH release aldosterone promotes the reabsorption of sodium and water from the distal part of the nephron this is correct angiotensin to decreases glomerular नहीं वो क्या करेगा वो increase है करेगा vasoconstrictor है तो ये वाला गलत है so how these statements are correct that is 1 and 2 are correct now which of the points are not correct about angiotensin 2 it decreases the glomerular blood pressure नहीं भाई ये increase करेगा glomerular blood pressure adrenocorticotropic hormone नहीं तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा antidiuretic hormone ठीक है, दिस इज एंटी डायरेटिक हार्मोन। 56 का 3, फिर ये हो जाएगा 3, देन आपका क्या हो जाएगा, देन दिस वुड बिकम रिलीज ऑफ एल्डोस्टेरोन, एल्डोस्टेरोन फ्रॉम द एड्रिनल ग्लैंड, राइट। दिस इज हो जाएगा 4 एंड ये एल्डोस्टेरोन है, दिस इज 9। तो ऑप्शन क्या हो जाएगा आपका, ऑप्शन it acts to decrease the aldosterone release from the adrenal gland, this is correct. Acts to increase the urine output, right, this is also correct because it acts as a डायूरेटिक हार्मोन, ठीक है। एक्स टू इंक्रीज ब्लड प्रेशर नहीं, ये वैसोडाइलेटर है, ये ब्लड प्रेशर को क्या करेगा, डिक्रीज करेगा, राइट। एंड to decrease it acts to increase the urine output, right, this is also correct because it acts as a diuretic hormone, ठीक है। acts to increase blood pressure नहीं, ये vasodilator है, ये blood pressure को क्या करेगा, decrease करेगा, right। and act to decrease ADH, this is correct। तो आपका not a function क्या हो जाएगा, ऑप्शन नंबर 3 हार्मोन, ठीक है। acts to increase blood pressure नहीं, ये vasodilator है, ये blood शुरू क्या करेगा, डिक्रीज करेगा, राइट। एंड एक्ट टू डिक्रीज एडीएच, दिस इज करेक्ट। तो आपका नॉट ए फंक्शन क्या हो जाएगा, ऑप्शन नंबर 3। क्वेश्चन नंबर 59, एपीएच एंड रास वर्क इन रिस्पांस टू लो ब्लड वॉल्यूम एंड लो ब्लड प्रेशर, करेक्ट है। एएनएफ वर्क्स इन रिस्पांस टू हाई ब्लड प्रेशर, हाई ब्लड प्रेशर, हाई ब्लड प्रेशर एंड इंक्रीज ब्लड वॉल्यूम, दिस इज आल्सो करेक्ट। सो 59 का क्या हो जाएगा, 1, राइट। During micturition, urine is prevented from backflow into the ureters. Opening of the ureters are oblique urinary bladder due to which urine cannot enter. So micturiation में urine का तो prevent होता है backflow. It is because the ureters are obliquely arranged. वो obliquely arranged होता है. Artistic bladder fills the यहाँ पे option क्या हो जाएगा, option which of the following are the correct करेक्ट है, क्या क्या पूछा है, ठीक है। एक्चुएशन इज इनवॉलंटरी, रिफ्लेक्स कंट्रोल ओनली बाय स्ट्रेचिंग सेवन, इनवॉलंटरी नहीं है क्योंकि सीएनएस तो वॉलंटरी सिग्नल भेजता है, ठीक है। इनवॉलंटरी होता तो वी कैन नॉट कंट्रोल, वी कुड have controlled over the urine release, ठीक है। तो ये वाला गलत है, ठीक है। यूरिन इज नॉर्मली स्लाइटली एसिडिक एंड हैज a वो NaCl secret substances like urea still also sir, this is correct. Sweat produced by NaCl, sweat glands is oily fluid, oily fluid नहीं होता है, watery fluid होता है, ये watery fluid होता है, ये वाला गलत है, ठीक है। right, in uremic patients urine glucose can be reversed process for hemorrhage, this is correct, right। तो यहाँ पे ऑप्शन क्या हो जाएगा, 1 3 and 4, 1 3 and 4 is correct, ठीक है। Question number 67, choose the incorrect statement, urine is slightly acidic, this is correct। On an average 22 milligrams USD per day, this is also correct। Etonuria in a new type, this is also correct। Lungs use 4.8 liters, according to our book 200 ml per minute है, right, per minute 200 ml per minute है, which roughly translates into 288 liters, 288 liters per day, but this varies। 288 liters per day होता है, but ये vary करता है, तो यहाँ पे basically option 4 is the wrong option, okay। Coming to the next question, the sweat and the sebaceous gland skin act into supplementary secretion, sweat produced by the sweat glands is the water gland, this is correct। So both of them are correct, but that is not the correct explanation, तो option क्या हो जाएगा, option हो जाएगा आपका 2। Coming to the next question, right, malfunctioning of kidneys can lead to accumulation of urea, this is correct। Such patients can be processed hemorrhage, this is correct। So both of these statements are correct, but again this is not the correct explanation। Coming to the next question, question number 70, right। Again आपको क्या निकालना है, find the number of correct statements, uremia is condition excess glucose नहीं होगा, urea, ठीक है। heparin is added in blood before it enters the diet, right। again आपको क्या निकालना है, find the number of correct statements, uremia is condition excess glucose नहीं होगा, urea होता है, so this is wrong, ठीक है। heparin is added in blood before it enters the diet to prevent clotting, this is correct। dialysate into the natural urine in higher concentration than the blood, no, this is wrong, तब नहीं तो जाएगा ही नहीं। porous membrane is the dialyzing allows the diffusion of natural urine based on the concentration, this is correct। so based on concentration gradient, this is correct। यहाँ पे क्या ऑप्शन हो जाएगा, आपका 3, 2 statements are correct। Question number 71. Question number 71. Okay. Hemodialysis is used to remove the blood nitrogenous from the representative. This is correct. After dialyzing, the blood is turned through a vein after adding anticoagulant. एंटीकोआगुलेंट एंटीकोआगुलेंट नहीं एंटी हेपरिन होता है एंटी हेपरिन एक्ट करेगा ठीक है तो ये वाला रॉन्ग है किडनी ट्रांसफर जनरेटर्स डन फ्रॉम रैंडम नहीं होता है क्लोज रिलेटिव होने से अच्छा है क्लोज रिलेटिव क्योंकि मैचिंग करना पड़ेगा सो दिस इज आल्सो रॉन्ग ग्लोमेरुलर नेफ्रोडाइटिस रेफर्स टू इन्फ्लेमेशन ऑफ ग्लोमेरुलर किडनी दिस इज करेक्ट यहाँ पे कितना ऑप्शन करेक्ट हो जाएगा ऑप्शन 2 ओके कम टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन अगेन आपको सीक्वेंस निकालना है राइट डायलिसिस का पहले तो ब्लड निकालना पड़ेगा कन्वीनियंट आर्टरी से ठीक है उसके बाद क्या करना पड़ेगा हेपारिन से मिक्स करना पड़ेगा उसके बाद क्या करना पड़ेगा उसके बाद आपको कॉलर पार्ट कॉलर पोरस सेलोफेन ट्यूब से डायलिसिस फ्लूइड में नंबर 17 really occurs this is correct renal calculus steroid crystals such as oxalate found inside the kidney this is correct kidney transplantation has lower success due to lower success नहीं है हाई हो गया है ये हाई सक्सेस रेट हो रहा है तो ये वाला गलत है कितना ऑप्शंस करेक्ट है ऑप्शन 3 करेक्ट है ओके थर्ड वन इज सी राइट एडिटिव एम्फीऑक्सिडेंट्स क्या है एम्फीऑक्सिडेंट्स का ऑप्शन कौन देगा ऑप्शन हो जाएगा 75 का 475 का हो जाएगा 4 Coming to question number 76, renal columns. Renal columns are as cortex होता है, renal cortex होता है. ठीक है, तो process of information selected readings is minimum. Selected readings जो minimum के बाद ही देते हैं. Composition of the plasma, except that of nitrogenesis is correct. Blood is then from convenient artery, pumping dialysis after eating anti-heparin. Anti-heparin तो नहीं, heparin ऐड करने के बाद ही देते हैं. ठीक है. Right? Okay. The porous cellophane membrane of the tube allows the passage of molecules against the concentration. Against the concentration gradient नहीं होता है. Against the concentration gradient नहीं होएगा. Against the concentration gradient नहीं होगा. ठीक है. Against the concentration gradient नहीं होगा. तो ये गलत है. ठीक है. Right? And kidney transplantation ultimate method for correction item. This is correct. So आप कितना ऑप्शन करेक्ट हो जाएगा? 78 का 1, there is 2. ऑप्शन हो जाएगा आपका 2 7 कैलिक्स दिस इज लिस्ट इम्परमिएबल टू होता है लिस्ट इम्परमिएबल टू वाटर ठीक है अभी लिस्ट इम्परमिएबल टू वाटर होगा लिस्ट इम्परमिएबल टू वाटर होगा तो लिस्ट इम्परमिएबल टू वाटर होने से मोस्ट इम्परमिएबल टू वाटर होने से असेंडिंग लूप लीस्ट इम्परमिएबल टू वाटर is the descending loop of Henle, least impermeable. So option हो जाएगा 81 का हो जाएगा 2 करेक्ट है 81 का 2 descending loop of Henle. Question number 82. Question number 82. Right, the ability of producing hyperosmotic urine in the vertebrate is generally depend on the length of loop of Henle. Of loop of Henle. Question number 83. Question number 83. 83 के animals have the ability to produce concentrated urine by mechanism called counterdiagnostic. This mechanism, loop of Henle and vasoactive, play a significant role. This is correct. Osmolarity in cortex is about 300 milliosmol. This is also correct. Osmolarity in denominator is about 1200 milliosmol. This is the option क्या हो जाएगा? Option हो जाएगा 4. 85 का 4. If loop of Henle were absent from the membrane, अगर loop of Henle अगर absent होगा तो urine concentrate नहीं होगा. Urine क्या हो जाएगा? Urine would be more dilute. ठीक है. सर्जिकल रिमूवल ऑफ द किडनी वुड रिजल्ट इन डेथ अगर आपने किडनी रिमूव कर दिया तो बॉडी में क्या इंक्रीज हो जाएगा यूरिया सो सिंस यूरिया वुड नॉट बी एक्सक्रीटेड सो डेथ होगा कमिंग टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 88 क्वेश्चन नंबर 88 क्या है, राइट। यहाँ पे आपको मैच करने दिया है प्रोटोनेफ्रिडिया। प्रोटोनेफ्रिडिया होता है एनिलिड्स में। नेफ्रिडिया, नेफ्रिडिया कहाँ पे होगा, रोटिफर्स। मैलपीजियन ट्यूबल्स कहाँ पे होगा, इंसेक्ट्स। एंड ग्रीनलैंड कहाँ पे होगा, क्रस्टेशियंस। तो आपका क्या हो जाएगा, ए इज ए इज 4, ए हो जाएगा आपका 4, फिर बी हो जाएगा आपका 2, ठीक है, फिर सी हो जाएगा आपका 1 एंड डी हो जाएगा आपका 3, डी हो जाएगा आपका 3। करेक्ट है, राइट। सो ऑप्शन यहाँ पे थोड़ा गड़बड़ ही नहीं है, सो दिस इज द करेक्ट आंसर, ठीक है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 89, क्वेश्चन नंबर 89, which of the following is highly absent or reduced in cortical nephron pars active? Right, this will be a thing you have to remember here also. One thing you have to remember here also, बहुत important point है क्वेश्चन से कि methods of locomotion performed by animals, methods of locomotion performed by animals vary, किसके साथ vary करता है, with their habitats, and the habitats and demand of the situation. However, locomotion is generally for search of food, shelter, mate, suitable breeding grounds, favorable climatic conditions, or escape from danger. Again, छोटा सा पॉइंट है, मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम ओवरलुक होता है, लेकिन इससे क्वेश्चन बनने का चांसेस बहुत है कि the methods of locomotion performed by animals vary with the habitat and the demand of the situation. However, locomotion is generally for search of food, shelter, mate, suitable breeding grounds, favorable climatic conditions, and to escape enemies and predators. ठीक है, क्लियर है? ओके, राइट। नाउ टाइप्स ऑफ लोकोमोशन में जब आते हैं, टाइप्स ऑफ लोकोमोशंस में आते हैं, या फिर टाइप्स ऑफ मूवमेंट, टाइप्स ऑफ मूवमेंट में जब हम लोग आते हैं, ठीक है, टाइप्स ऑफ मूवमेंट हम लोग के बुक में ये 3 टाइप्स ऑफ देख रखा है, एमिबॉइड मूवमेंट, सिलियरी मूवमेंट, मस्कुलर मूवमेंट। ऑल ऑफ दिस मूवमेंट आर फाउंड इनसाइड आवर बॉडी। हमारे बॉडी के अंदर में ये तीनों मूवमेंट मिलते हैं। एमिबॉइड मूवमेंट डायरेक्टली क्वेश्चन किधर से आएगा, डब्ल्यूबीसी ल्यूकोसाइट्स में, राइट, एमिबॉइड मूवमेंट आएगा। साइटोस्केलेटल एलिमेंट्स में एमिबॉइड मूवमेंट आएगा। व्हाट इज दिस एमिबॉइड मूवमेंट? बाय सिग्नल ऑफ प्रोटोप्लाज्म। प्रोटोप्लाज्म को क्या आगे देके प्रोटोप्लाज्म को आगे खींच के, दिस इज द मूवमेंट दैट वी स्टार्ट टू डू। करेक्ट, क्लियर है, राइट। सो एमिबॉइड मूवमेंट डायरेक्ट एक्सपोजर कौन को शो करता है, डब्ल्यूबीसी का ल्यूकोसाइट शो करेगा, साइटोस्केलेटल में माइक्रोफिलामेंट शो करेगा, राइट, एंड ठीक है। नेक्स्ट आता है क्या, सिलियरी मूवमेंट। सिलिया मूव करता है एंड इन अ पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन। आपको मालूम है इन अ पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन सिलिया मूव करता है। So it is shown by tubular parts that is lined by ciliated epithelium. It is shown by tubular parts that is lined by ciliated epithelium. Examples क्या है, upper respiratory tract, bronchioles and fallopian tube. Correct है। Ultimately there is what, there is muscular movement. Ultimately there is what, there is muscular movement. Muscular movement, movement by limbs, jaws, etc. by utilizing the contractile property of the muscles. Correct है। So muscular movement. So what are the 3 types of movements that are shown in our body? Body movement, ciliary movement and muscular. And movement कौन-कौन यहाँ पे आता है, WBC, leukocytes, cytoplasm, and microfilaments by streaming of protoplasm, pseudopodium formation. Here is tubular parts lined by ciliated epithelium, upper respiratory tract and connected by बाकी जितना भी responsible है associated with muscles that becomes your muscular movement, that becomes your muscular movement. Clear है? Okay, right? Now, when we talk about muscles, हमारा muscles का अगर करते हैं, ठीक है? Now, these muscles, muscles का origin क्या है? What is the origin of the muscles? Muscles का origin है mesoderm, ठीक है? Muscles origin है mesoderm. Right? Now, first statement, it accounts for 40 to 50% of the body weight. It accounts for 40 to 50% of the body weight. ठीक है? Body weight का 40 to 50% हमारे muscles में जाता है. And types में आपको skeletal muscles मिल जाएगा, smooth muscles मिल जाएगा and cardiac muscles मिल जाएगा. ठीक है? Types में आपको skeletal muscles मिल जाएगा, smooth muscles मिल जाएगा and cardiac muscles मिल जाएगा. Total number of muscles, क्या muscles countable है? Obvious, their total number of muscles are 639. 317 pair में and 5 है आपका unpaired. ठीक है? So the total number of muscles that is present is 630. Now there are certain properties of muscles. जिससे क्वेश्चन बनता है. Properties of muscles. The muscles are excitable. Muscles are contractile. Muscles are extensible. Muscles show elasticity. Right? What are the properties? Property of excitability, property of contractility, property of extensibility, and property of elasticity. What is excitability? It is the ability to carry a charge. Conduction. ठीक है? So generating action potential, that is excitable. This character is common with whom? Excitability property is common with our neurons. ठीक है? Nerve से. ठीक है? Contractility, ability to contract, the action potential generate होगा तो contraction भी करेगा, ability to contract. उसके बाद extensibility, contract करेगा तो extend भी करेगा. And lastly elasticity, जितना बार भी contract करे और extend करे, contract करे, extend करे, इतना जल्दी टूटना नहीं चाहिए. So that is the property of elasticity. Right? So what are the 5 properties of muscles? Excitability, contractility, extensibility, as well as elasticity, Clear है? Right? Now, coming to the most important part of this chapter, it is the skeletal muscles. Skeletal muscles का character क्या है? ये voluntary है. It is multinucleated. Right? एक single cell में multiple nucleus है. ठीक है? It is striated. ये striated है. Why? Because there is presence of alternate light and dark bands. और इसको striped muscles भी बोलते हैं because there is transverse bands. ये जो light and dark bands है, ये ऐसे arrange होते हैं in a transverse fashion. So इसको transverse bands भी बोलते हैं. ठीक है? Right? So the skeletal muscles are voluntary. Skeletal muscles are multinucleated. Skeletal muscles are striated, which is given by the presence of light and alternating light and dark bands. And the skeletal muscles are striped, which is characterized by the presence of transverse bands. Okay? These are the 4 characteristics of your skeletal muscles. Right? Now, skeletal muscles multinucleated कैसे हुआ? During the embryonic stage, वहाँ पे आपको embryonic cells मिल जाएगा myoblast. या certain myoblasts fuse together to form a syncytium. उन्होंने एक syncytium बना लिया, right? Which has single cytoplasm, multiple nucleus, right? और अल्टीमेटली उन्हें क्या बना लिया? एक मसल फाइबर. क्या बनाया? मसल फाइबर. राइट? क्लियर है? राइट? So that is how my muscle fibers are made. Now those statements of याद रखना है कि the structural and anatomical unit of a muscle is a muscle fiber. Structural and anatomical unit of a muscle is a muscle fiber, whereas functional unit of muscle कौन है? Sarcomere. Structural and functional unit of muscle कौन है? Muscle fiber है. Whereas functional unit of muscle कौन है? Functional unit of muscle है आपका sarcomere. Clear है? Okay. Now when you come to the structure of muscles, right? Structure of muscles में जब देखते हो, ये एक muscle है. ठीक है? ये एक muscle है. Right? इस muscle का आपने cross section किया. क्या किया? एक क्रॉस सेक्शन करके आप इनको कुछ ऐसा देखा, कुछ ऐसा स्ट्रक्चर दिखा, राइट? व्हिच आर बाउंड टुगेदर, सर्टेन पाइप लाइक स्ट्रक्चर्स व्हिच आर बाउंड टुगेदर. आपने एक को निकाला. दिस सिंगल इज कॉल्ड एज अ फेसिकल. दिस सिंगल पाइप इज कॉल्ड एज अ फेसिकल. ठीक है? फेसिकल. दैट मींस, और ये फेसिकल जो बाउंड था, इट वाज बाउंड बाय समथिंग कॉल्ड एज द fascia. ये fascia से बाउंड होता है, व्हिच इज कोलाजेनस फाइबर. So fascicles are bound together by fascia, forming a bundle, right? यही बंडल क्या बनाता है आपका मसल। तो मसल इज नथिंग बट बंडल ऑफ मसल। आपने से फेसिकल को निकाला, फेसिकल को निकाल के आपने क्रॉस सेक्शन दिखाया, उसी क्रॉस सेक्शन में आपको क्या मिलेगा, एक और बंडल मिलेगा। There will be different bundles. When you pull this bundle out, आपको क्या मिलेगा, muscle fiber. Thus, fascicle becomes what? Bundle of muscle fibers. Fascicle becomes what? Bundle of muscle fibers. When you take out the muscle fiber and take a cross section, जब आप muscle fiber को निकालो, एक cross section बनाओगे, तो आपको क्या दिखेगा, multinucleated structure दिख जाएगा. You'll find the multinucleated structure, right? Multinucleated structure, which is covered by a plasma membrane, which is called as the sarcolemma. ठीक है, और सार्कोलेमा किसको कवर कर रहा है, सार्कोप्लाज्म। ठीक है, तो मसल फाइबर का क्रॉस सेक्शन करने से आपको एक मल्टीन्यूक्लिएटेड स्ट्रक्चर दिखेगा कवर्ड बाय अ सार्कोलेमा, इसमें क्या है, सार्कोप्लाज्म। एंड फ्लोटिंग इन द सार्कोप्लाज्म, फ्लोटिंग इन द सार्कोप्लाज्म आपको क्या मिलेगा, मायोफिब्रिल्स। फ्लोटिंग इन द सार्कोप्लाज्म आपको क्या मिलेगा, मायोफिब्रिल्स। एंड these myofibrils are made up of actin filaments and myosin filaments. It's made up of actin filaments and myosin filaments. Actin filaments are thin, whereas myosin filaments are thick. ठीक है, so this is the ultrastructure. This is the ultrastructure of your muscle. ठीक है, ultrastructure of your muscles. Right now, coming to the internal part, structure of myofibril में, structure of myofibril में आपको क्या दिखेगा, आपको कुछ ऐसा स्ट्रक्चर दिखेगा। You will find structure like that, जिसमें आपको क्या मिलेगा, I band मिलेगा, A band मिलेगा, Z line मिलेगा, M line मिलेगा, sarcomere मिलेगा, H zone मिलेगा। Now what is I band? I band is the isotropic या फिर लाइट, ये जो ग्रीन कलर का है, ये पोर्शन, ये पोर्शन से ये पोर्शन, this much portion is the I band, this much portion is the I band। ठीक है, I band, this is isotropic, which is what, which is similar। ये isotropic क्यों है, because it is made up of similar bands। ठीक है, it is also called as light band, it is also called as light band, and it is made up of what, it's made up of actin। ठीक है, isotropic band, I band is isotropic, it is similar, made up of only actin। When you talk about an isotropic band or the A band, this is the A band, this is the A band। और A band में देखोगे आपको लेंथ ऑफ मायोसिन दिखेगा, ये मायोसिन है, certain overlapping regions of actin भी दिखेगा, certain overlapping regions of actin भी दिखेगा। So myosin, this A band is called as anisotropic। Anisotropic means dissimilar। ये क्या है, dissimilar है, this is dissimilar। Why? It is made up of a myosin, entire length of myosin along with some overlapping regions। ठीक है, right?
Muscles consist of bundle of fascicles. Fascicles, bundle of muscle fiber. Muscle fiber, anatomical unit of muscles. Myofibrils. Muscles, bundle of fascicles. Fascicles, bundles of muscle fiber. Muscle fiber, anatomical unit of muscle. Fascica, collagen fiber. Fascica, collagen fiber help in binding fascicles. Muscles, bundle of fascicles. Fascicles, bundles of muscle fiber. Muscle of muscles. Fascica is collagenous fiber helping binding collagen fiber. Fascica is collagen fiber. Fascica. Fascica is collagen fiber helping binding of fascicles. Fascica is collagen fiber helping binding fascicles. Endomysium, perimysium, and epimysium. Endomysium, connective tissue around muscle fiber. Peri, connective tissue in fascicles, and epi, muscles. Structure of myofibril Z line. Main structure. Okay. Actin thin, myosin thick. M line. H zone. Only myosin. I band isotropic. Actin thin. A band and isotropic myosin. A band length of myosin. A band length of myosin. Okay. Non-overlapping myosin, overlapping myosin. H zone only myosin. Okay. Jet line present between I band. Present between I band. Sacromere present between A band. H zone non-overlapping myosin only. During contraction, I band, A band, sacromere, M line, Z zone decreases. Full. M zone and Z fully contracted, that is disappear. Relaxation, contraction, contractile protein, force generating, actin, myosin, regulatory, tropomyosin, troponin, structural protein, Z line. Okay. Contractile protein, force generating protein, actin and myosin, regulating troponin and tropomyosin, structural protein, Z-line. Monomeric globular protein polymerization in presence of Mg2 plus and formation of F-actin or filamentous actin. Two F-actin wound helically around each other. F-actin, F-actin, actin. Myosin, polymerized unit of um, polymerized unit of myomysis. Binding site, actin binding site, ATP synthesized site, ATPase, globular head, short arm, cross arm, globular head, and short arm. Heavy myomycin constitute the cross arm. Each myosin monomer form a toothpole-like structure. Bye bye, guys.